So the new scooter is less than 24 hours old, and I'm going to take it apart because I'm going to install this front and rear camera system and a couple of locking cargo hooks because you have to. So let's see how easy this is. Please feed the YouTube algorithm by giving the video a like. If you want to see more like this, click subscribe and ring the bell to be notified of new videos. If you want to chip in on my expenses, I now have Patreon and YouTube memberships. Welcome back to 2 hours later, and I've got the scooter down to a shell of bodywork, and I've got the rear camera in place, ready to glue in and wire. Getting to this point was very tricky, precisely because it's so well engineered. The body panels all fit together with these overlapping seams which look seamless, right? There are very, very few exposed screws that you have immediate access to, and those screws actually have a little rubber cover over them, giving the body a beautiful seamless look. So to get inside, you have to reverse engineer their order of assembly to get to what you want. And the whole thing is held together with some hidden screws and clips and slots and other things and screws, and it all fits together like origami. But I'm finally to the point where I will be able to add the cargo clip right about there, and I will be able to put the front camera up here somewhere. Let's take a look into the brains of the outfit. This is the GPS unit and the data unit, because the bike knows where it is in the world through GPS, and it also transmits data over a 4G connection, I believe. This, I think, is the computer that runs the whole business. This is the alarm box, and this is the combination brake system, the combi brake. When you squeeze this one all by itself, it distributes braking power to the front and rear. You can use the front brake also, and I've tried it both ways. They're both equally as effective. One thing I did notice is inside they do things like this. They put hot snot all on the wires here to keep them dry, and so they will not fail upon vibration 10,000 kilometers down the road, which is fantastic, wonderful. Then you get down here, and this wiring harness is kind of flapping in the wind. So I'm going to do my normal trick with some zip ties and just snug this stuff down so I don't get a lot of motion. You can see there's also hot glue in a lot of these other connectors, but not in some of the other ones. So it probably depends on where they bought the cable from their suppliers, which is fine. But overall, I give the guts of this 9 out of 10 for workmanship, for design, for the overall aesthetic of how the body panels all go together. It's very, very good. So, poking around in here, I found switched plus 12 volts in the headlight connector, which makes sense. So I pulled the plus 12 in the ground wire, soldered the power supply to the dash cam to it, added shrink wrap, made it all nice, and I've just got the unit hanging here in space. We'll turn on the key. And we power up. And we've got front camera and rear camera. Let's see if I can wiggle my fingers. There's the front camera, and there's the rear camera and front camera. So there's a bunch of modes. It's in sort of a picture-in-picture view right now, but that's very good. Everything's wired up. Now all I have to do is rebuild the entire chassis and then mount the camera where I want it to go. Maybe there, maybe hanging off the front somehow, but we'll figure that out when it comes time. Welcome to a quiet midnight in Thailand, and I'm going to attempt to charge the scooter's batteries inside with this rather unique balanced charging system. So the charger goes in the wall, comes out to this splitter box, which goes here and here, and it has an intelligent balancing system to make sure that the two of them charge in parallel, so there's not too much of a voltage difference when you put it back in the bike. They are at about 23% state of charge right now, and what I've done is I hooked up my kilowatt box here, which will plug the charger in, and this will show how much energy goes in the pack. Right now we are at 234.9 volts, 50 hertz. We are 0 amps, 0 watts, and 0 kilowatt hours. So let's plug this in and see what happens. Cross your fingers. The charger is red. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I thought I heard the fan spin up, but now it's quiet. The box has 2 red lights. This is flashing and that's flashing. So I suppose we're charging. I feel a little bit of airflow, but otherwise it's dead quiet. Maybe this turns green when we get a full charge. Let's see what we see. 6/1000th of a kilowatt hour so far, so that's good. Means we're sucking in power. 2.9 amps, 0.99 power factor, which is wonderful. Close to 1 is what you want. 9.1 watts. Seems quite low, although maybe the charger is preconditioning the batteries to some extent. 671 watts there. Watts high. That's a much better number. I was thinking it'd be close to 1,000. 16/1000ths of a kilowatt hour. Let's leave that and see what it looks like in the morning. They say it's about 6 hours, but considering we're at just over 20% state of charge, it's probably less than that, depending on the charge curve of the 18650 cells. But we'll see. Welcome to the next morning in Thailand, and let's check the batteries. We have green on the charger, and the batteries are full and full. Let's check the meter. We are at 2.889 kilowatt hours, and I did the math on that at 4 baht per kilowatt hour. That's about 35 cents US. So I went about 80 kilometers for 35 cents on this battery pack. Sounds like a good deal to me. I'll pop them back into the bike and continue on my way. Okay, I'm back on the road. Everything is working well. The camera system is up and running. The secure latch hook is great. And I even found a little Easter egg if you look right here and focus, it says, "Life is a crazy ride." Well, that's true. Never expected to see that on the ignition key. All right. I wanted to give you a taste of the front and rear camera on the camera system. And here we are going around the roundabout at the old train station. You can see what riding is like in my little town. Hey, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to feed the algorithm and do all the YouTube things. Take care and see you next time.